Good morning, students. How are you? Hope you all are well. Okay. So in the previous topic we studied about the pH value of the salt, how to find the pH value of the salts. We studied about the common salt and the product preparation of sodium hydroxide by chloralkali process. And I told you that in this some of the byproducts are formed, like hydrogen is formed and chlorine is formed. And this hydrogen and chlorine are very important in the preparation of some other materials which are of great use for us. Okay, so let's start the first material, which is bleaching powder. So this is bleaching powder and its formula is calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2. So you can write it as calcium oxychloride. So it means its other name is calcium oxychloride. So in the preparation of calcium oxychloride, we take the one of the byproducts, that is chlorine gas here. So what happens that when this chlorine gas is passed in dry slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide, you can write, this is dry slaked lime. And in this, when chlorine gas will be passed, then bleaching powder is formed, or calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2 plus water is formed, and this is bleaching powder. So this way bleaching powder can be prepared. Okay, so this is the preparation for bleaching powder. Now let us discuss about some of the uses of bleaching powder. Okay, so let's write down the uses of bleaching powder, as it is one of the important material for us in our everyday life. So the first use of this is for bleaching. It is used for bleaching cotton and linen in textile industry. Okay, this is one of the use, and it is also used for bleaching wood pulp in the paper factories. The paper which we are getting, in that also it is used for bleaching it. Okay, so it is used for bleaching wood pulp also. Wood pulp in paper factories. Okay, this you should remember. Then it is also used for bleaching washed clothes in our laundry. You know that we are giving clothes in the laundry for bleaching, for cleaning it. So what they are doing, they are using this bleaching powder only for cleaning, and also used in washing. It is also used for washed clothes, for bleaching washed clothes in laundry. Okay, this is one of the use. Then its second use is it is used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries. So it means it can be also used as an oxidizing agent. You know what are oxidizing agents? Oxidizing agents are those chemicals which provide oxygen. Very simple. So it also provides oxygen, so that's why it is used as an oxidizing agent. Then it is also used in to make drinking water germs free. So we can say to make drinking water free from germs. So we can write to make drinking water free from germs. Okay, so this you should remember, because these can be asked that what are the uses of bleaching powder. So it is used in bleaching cotton and linen in textile industry, wood pulp in paper factories, wash clothes in laundry. and it is also used as an oxidizing agent. It is also used to make drinking water free from germs. So this is all about the bleaching powder, and then we will study about the next chemical, and that chemical is baking soda. Okay, so do you know what is the formula for baking soda? You have studied in class 8th, if you remember that this baking soda you have studied in class 8th. So this baking soda, its formula, baking soda. Okay, so first of all we should know the formula of baking soda, that is NaHCO3. It is also known as sodium hydrogen carbonate. What is the other name for this? That is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay. Now, in the preparation of sodium hydrogen carbonate, we are using sodium chloride. 4 reactants are here. One is NaCl, sodium chloride. Other is water, H2O. Then in this carbon dioxide and ammonia is also used. So CO2 and NH3. These 4 reactants are there in this case. Okay, and this, when the reaction takes place, then NH4Cl is formed and NaHCO3 is formed, and this NaHCO3 is only baking soda. Now this baking soda, you know, your mother may be using in kitchen for making idlis, dosas, and making tasty crispy pakoras and all. So it is very, very useful in our kitchen also. Then one thing is very special about this, that is when this baking soda is heated, NaHCO3 is heated, okay, then it forms sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, and water is formed and carbon dioxide gas is formed. Water is formed and carbon dioxide gas is formed. So it means on heating baking soda, sodium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide gas is formed. So what happens, as you can see here, carbon dioxide gas is formed, and this carbon dioxide gas is very, very useful for us, because when it is useful in the preparation of breads and cakes. Okay, so now let us see how it is useful. So the uses of baking soda are to make the cakes and breads spongy. It is also used in making idlis and dosas, and then making crispy pakoras. So one thing I want to tell you, that this baking soda is there, it is a white powder, and if we add any mild acid, mild means very weak acid, or edible acid like tartaric acid, suppose we add in it, so it converts into the baking powder. And when this baking powder is added in the preparation of breads and cakes, this carbon dioxide gas comes out. Now let's see the reaction, how it comes out. Like this is NaHCO3, this is baking soda, and now when we add any acid, so we are using acid, it means it is giving hydrogen ions. So suppose instead of writing whole acid, I am writing only H+. It means hydrogen ions are obtained, and you can write here from any acid. Okay, so what happens, that it forms the carbon dioxide gas is formed, water is formed, and the sodium salt of acid, whichever acid we are taking, its sodium salt will be formed. So you can write sodium salt of acid. Okay, so once again you see that sodium hydrogen carbonate, when adds with hydrogen ions or any acid, it becomes it converts into the baking powder, and when it is used in the preparation of breads and cakes, this carbon dioxide gas comes out, and when it comes out, so whichever place it goes, it becomes hollow. So because of that reason, breads and cakes become spongy. Now the next use of this sodium bicarbonate is that it is used in the preparation of soda acid fire extinguisher. You have studied about the fire extinguishers, and there we use the sodium hydrogen carbonate for the preparation of these fire extinguishers. Then beside this, in the previous topic we studied that we can use any mild acid when the acidity is there. So sodium bicarbonate or baking soda is also one of the antacid which can be used to neutralize the effect of acid which is produced during the acidity. Okay, so this way it can be used. So this way there are three important uses. The first use, it is used in making breads and cakes spongy. Second use is that it is used in the preparation of the soda acid fire extinguisher. And the third use is that it is used in the neutralization of the acid in the form of the antacid. So this you should remember because it is very important topic. Okay, now let's continue the topic, and you can see the next compound is the washing soda. All these compounds are prepared from the byproducts only, which is we are getting from the chloralkali process. Now for the preparation of washing soda, it is also like baking soda. Very small difference is there, that instead of hydrogen only sodium, carbon and oxygen are there. So let's write washing soda, washing soda. Okay, so here also we should know the formula of washing soda. The formula for washing soda is Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. Okay, so what happens that, as I told you that in case of baking soda, when baking soda is heated, it forms Na2CO3. So what happens in the preparation of washing soda also, again you will write the reaction, that is you will write NaHCO3, that was baking soda. It is heated, then it forms Na2CO3 plus water plus carbon dioxide. And this sodium carbonate which is formed here, Na2CO3, from here only washing soda is formed. So Na2CO3, the recrystallization of sodium carbonate takes place. That is 10 molecules of water are added in this, and then recrystallization takes place and it forms the washing soda. So this 10H2O, so this 10H2O is the water of crystallization. Okay, so you should remember what is this 10H2O. This is the water of crystallization. Okay, so this water of crystallization is present in other compounds also. So because of that, these chemicals are wet. Okay, now let's discuss the uses of washing soda. Okay, so this washing soda is used, that is sodium carbonate or washing soda is used in glass, soap and paper industries. What is the use? One, it is used in glass industries, it is used in soap industries, and it is also used in paper industries. Okay, so these are the, some of the uses. Then it is also used in the manufacture of some sodium compounds, and one of the most important sodium compound is borax, and in the preparation of borax, it is one of the sodium compound. Okay, then it is also used as a cleaning agent for the domestic purpose. In our houses also we are using washing soda for cleaning. Okay, so it is used as a cleaning agent. So we can write it is used as a cleaning agent. Then the last use of sodium carbonate is that it is used in removing permanent hardness of water. You know na, how water are soft water and hard water. So what happens if the water is hard and we have to remove the hardness of water? So in that case we are using this washing soda. Okay, so we can write like this. It is used for removing permanent hardness of water. Hardness of water. So once again let's understand that for the preparation of washing, preparation of washing soda, very simple. First we have to heat baking soda. Okay, baking soda, when you will heat, then sodium carbonate is formed, and this sodium carbonate recrystallizes, and in this 10 molecules of water are used, and then sodium carbonate 10 water of molecules is formed, and this is known as the washing soda. Okay, and because of that reason it is wet. Okay, now its uses, as already told you, once again let's revise. It is used in the preparation of glass, soap and paper industries. It is used in the formation of borax. It is used in the form of cleaning agent, and it is also used in removing permanent hardness of water. Now as I told you that here water of crystallization is there. So now let's see, are other salts really dry? The salts which we see, are they really dry? So now let's perform an activity. So let's perform the activity. So you can write like this: are the crystals of salt, are the crystals of salt really dry? Okay, let us check it with the help of an activity. So it's a very simple activity. What we have to do, we will take a test tube. Okay, take one test tube. Here instead of test tube you can take the boiling tube. You can do it in test tube, but normally when we heat we are using the boiling tube. So we will take a boiling tube and then we will heat it. And first we will add some copper sulfate here, CuSO4, not 5H2. Okay, and you know that the color of the copper sulfate is blue. So we will heat it and we will just hold it with the help of the pair of tongs. Okay, just hold it from here and then just heat it. And you will see when we heat, some water droplets you can see on the walls of the boiling tube. So these water droplets are due to the presence of water of crystallization. And as I told you that this copper sulfate is of blue color. When we see, it is of blue color. But when we heat, it changes into white color. Okay, why it changes into white color? Because the water of the crystallization has been evaporated, and in the absence of water of crystallization it is white in color. Now to check it, what we can do is that again you add few drops of water in this copper sulfate. You will see that the blue color will reappear. Okay, so this way you can say that this is the water of crystallization, and these crystals of these salts are not actually dry. So this water of crystallization is different for different chemicals. Like you can take some example. For copper sulfate, as I told you that it is 5 molecules of water. For washing soda, I have written there, for washing soda, water of crystallization are 10 molecules of water. Then for ferrous sulfate, if you remember, FeSO4, in the first chapter you studied, that is 7 molecules of water is there. Okay, and there is one more chemical which is known as gypsum. And in this calcium, this is gypsum, and in this calcium sulfate and 2 molecules of water are there. And then one is plaster of Paris, in short we can say POP, and in this water only half molecule of water is there, CaSO4 dot half H2O. Okay, so this way you can see that in different compounds different number of water of crystallization is there. Okay, so for sodium carbonate 10 molecules, for copper sulfate 5 molecules, for ferrous sulfate 7 molecules, for gypsum 2 molecules, and for plaster of Paris half molecule. So these are the water of crystallization. So in this way we can say that the crystals of salts, it is not for all the salt, for few salts are not really dry. It seems to be dry, but actually they contain some water in it. Okay, so now let's come to the last topic of the chapter. As I told you that this is POP and it contains half molecules of water. So now let's see how this plaster of Paris is prepared, because it is very useful for us. Okay, whenever any fracture is there in the bones, then doctors are using this chemical. So now let's check the preparation of plaster of Paris. Okay, so plaster of Paris is prepared by heating gypsum. Okay, its preparation is very simple. Simply we have to heat gypsum, and as I told you, the formula for gypsum we can write here, plaster of Paris. Okay, so formula for plaster of Paris will be calcium sulfate dot half H2O, and the other name for plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate. Half is there, it means we can write hemihydrate. Okay, calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Okay, so what happens, it is prepared by heating gypsum. So as I told you that the formula for gypsum is calcium sulfate dot 2H2O. So when we heat, so you can write heat, and here some specific temperature is there. For heating gypsum we need 373 Kelvin. The temperature must be 373 Kelvin, and on 373 Kelvin it is heated, and then plaster of Paris, CaSO4 half H2O is formed, plus now as you can see here 2 molecules of water were there and half is taken from here, so 1.5 molecule is left. So you can write 1.5 H2O is left. So this is the preparation of plaster of Paris. Now this plaster of Paris is a white powder, and whenever water is added, it converts into the very hard substance which doctors are using. Okay, so we can write that this POP, CaSO4 dot half H2O, what we have to do, we have to add water in this 1.5 H2O, and then CaSO4 dot 2 H2O is formed, and this is gypsum. So this way you can see that preparation and properties are just opposite. For preparing, gypsum is heated at 373 Kelvin and it converts into the plaster of Paris. And then when in this plaster of Paris half molecule of water is added, and then gypsum is formed, and it is a very hard substance and it can be used by the doctors for joining the fractured bones at the right position. Okay, and then there are various other uses also of POP, that is it is used for the decorative purpose. It is also used for making toys. toys, then materials for decoration, and it is also used for making surfaces smooth. Sometimes any cracks are there in the surface, then in that case this plaster of Paris is used and then the surface becomes smooth. So this is all about this chapter, and this was the last topic, and then the question answers I will be sending you, and you can complete all those question answers in your notebook. And let us discuss some of the questions, like very small questions are there. The first question is that what is the common name of the compound CaOCl2? And as already I told you that it is known as calcium oxychloride. Okay. Then the second question is that name the substance which on treatment with chlorine yields bleaching powder. Okay. So it's very simple that that answer is dry slaked lime. You can write it in your notebook. Then name the sodium compound which is used for softening hard water. As already I told you, that is the washing soda, that is Na2CO3.10H2O. Then question number 4 is what will happen if a solution of sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated? Give the equation of the reaction involved, and this we have already discussed that when we will heat, then sodium salt will be formed, carbon dioxide gas will be formed, and water will be formed. And this carbon dioxide gas is used for the preparation of some of the materials, like bread is there, cakes are there, and to make the batter of idlis and dosa soft and fluffy. Then the last question is that write an equation to show the reaction between plaster of Paris and water. And already I have written you here, you can see plaster of Paris. This is plaster of Paris and this is water, and they form the gypsum. So these questions answers I will be sending you, and rest of the questions of the exercises also I will send you, and you have to complete it in your notebook. So your chapter acid, bases and salt is complete.